Hello, that's Wolf from Tesla Owners US, and this time we are not on the road with our travel trailer. We're just taking the SUV and we are going to Pine Top Lakeside. Hope to have snow there. Let's see.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
While here is still a desert landscape, so we are coming up to the mountains and we are always conveniently using the supercharger in Payson. Glad that's there. And as we see now, it should be 8 available of 11 superchargers. Let's find out. Here we are at the charger in Quartzsite, and they need to go as well.
Wait.
Okay, 20 minutes. We are arrived at our cabin here, and the first thing what I'm gonna do is how can I charge? So, and now sure there are outlets for 120 volt, but that will take a long time. But any of those cabins there have also power connection. So if you see that here, there's a power connection there, and it looks like it's two decent cables. And it goes to that connection box here to that box. And then if you see that box here are the connections there. So, and there is a 70 amp on 2 connected to each other. So there are 2 phases in there. So that means that the 70 amp is probably for the entire box. So, and then you can open that, and then when you open that, be careful, there is high voltage in there. Then you can see how that connects together. And I looked for the biggest one here in that box. There's one of them is smaller, and there's a 40 amp there. As you can see, 40 amp is pretty good, decent, and it's a double 40 amp. So on 2. What that means is on a double 40 amp that gets you 32 amp concurrent. So, and then I'm following where is that cable going to and from. So I followed that cable. I'm gonna put that back in here, put that down. So there's an outside cable what you can see, and this is actually what is the biggest one, which is this one, as you can see. And it's going all outside along the cabin here. From here along the cabin, it goes over here, and and it comes in here. So, and it goes in here, and that is the biggest one here, as you can see. And now I needed to find out for what it is for. So before you go and do anything, so watch out, there need to be an electrician or who is really capable to do this. So I would usually have also an electric voltmeter here with me, where I can measure how much volt is in there, if it's 120 or it's also 240. Then I have also a screwdriver or a couple of tools. And what did I do? So in order to do that, I followed that here in our cabin, and here is already my charger. It's connected, and I always had, and this time also, I have a cable which can do 30 amp, 32 amp, 20, basically 30 amp cable or concurrent 24 amp. It is a 3-prong cable, basically for 240 volt. I have that with me most of the time when I'm coming in those situations. So, and that goes actually down the door, and it's not too thick, and I still get the doors closed. So then I was following where is that cable going and what it is for. We are inside the cabin now, and what you can see here is a very old equipment. So an old stove and a freezer is all one combination. There's a stove here on the top, or the electric oven, and then here's an oven here, which is here, as you see. As our pot and pans, we have a big pot. It doesn't even fit there. But the good thing is, those old things, they really use a lot of electricity, which you can also use to charge. So now, where does it go? And what I'm seeing here is, here's another drawer. And when I take that drawer out, here was a cable. So where did that cable came in? Here is where that big cable came in. And it went alongside, all the way down here, across, and then it came in here. It's the same big, thick cable as you see here. So, and how most of them are, so junction boxes, you can press them in. So this is the box, and this is one of those old heat controlled fuses. And what I did, then first of all, what you have to do, you have to turn the power off. And when you turn the power off, you can actually take the breaker and switch it. And that's what I'm going to do now. Some light in here. So I took that lid off. There was only one screw. These are heat controlled fuses. And you see the cable came in there. And on the left side is red. On the right side is black. There's our two faces. In the middle is the ground. And I connected just my cable to those two screws there on the top. And was enough room for those. I screwed them up, sure, watch out, measure again, there's no power in there, and locked them down. So I punched this little hole in there. You see that one? I can close that again. So, and I'm gonna put it back to the condition how it was before. Just remove that again. But for the days I'm staying here, it will do the job. Then after that, here's my cable coming out. And as here goes through the door, you can still squeeze the door perfectly. And that cable comes out here and goes to my 14-50. Now, what you have to watch, these connectors, you can buy them at any RV shop. And I always mark it here that, hey, this is max 24 amp for a Tesla connector. So important is also then, and you can test that, it's very easy. If that shows green, like it is, power is connected, and then you can go to your car, and I already have charged it, and then you have to put the current down to 24, otherwise you blow the fuses, or actually you're drawing too much, and that's not good, because that's a 40 amp fuse there, but you are pulling through a cable which is capable less than that. So that's so that you have to urgently go in there and change it immediately when you plug it in to 24 amp. So you need to know what the diameter of your cable is and what is capable to do. And what's capable to do, then you can say, okay, how much can I draw? And cable doesn't get warm. Sometimes you should check also if the cable goes warm. So basically on that 30 amp cable max, you can draw only 24. You have to deduct 20% of that when you draw concurrent. And if you draw concurrent there, the cool thing is that I charged my car in the night, and the next day it was full again. So I have here constant power and can drive in the wilderness here and always plug in back. So the power on each of those cabins is good. And the other good thing was that the old stove or the old oven, it consumes a lot of power, and it needs 240 volt, including the freezer. And because of that, you need so much volt in power, you have to watch that you cannot operate both together. So if you operate both together, the charging and the stove or the oven, then your breaker, the 40 amp breaker, will trip. So you can probably run the fridge and one of the plates there to heat something. If not, you have to remotely turn the charging off. But how I usually do it, I charge at night, because then we don't cook or bake something. And the refrigerator can run easily. Yeah, that was how I charged the car and what the trip was. And electricity is everywhere. There are more outlets than gas stations in the United States or in the world. And you get anywhere, and don't be afraid, you can plug in. Even when you plug in on 120 volt, if you stay there 3 days, you're charged up again. And then you can get to where you need to go, and you're fine. That was all. If you like that, thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and see you the next time. Bye-bye.